try to get what I want done.
This is Bruce. He's here at the London Intercommunity Health Centre for a checkup with his social worker, Leanna Zile. Bruce was homeless about 7 years ago, but since then he's been working on getting his life back on track with Leanna's help. And thanks to that, Bruce has been living in social housing for about 6 years.
The first little while that Bruce and I were meeting, he was experiencing homelessness and was staying in one of the local shelters here. And since then, he has obtained housing, and I've continued to work with him in the capacity of basic life management. If there's any paperwork that comes in.
Before all this, Bruce had a typical life. The 68-year-old worked as a truck driver for 44 years. He had a family and 16 grandchildren. But he lost it all when his health began to fail, forcing him to retire from his job. Bruce is especially struggling with getting funding and proper health care access. He recently had his foot amputated and is waiting for physiotherapy. Bruce receives a meager amount from his old age pension, and most of it goes towards his rent. Abe Utschorn is the chair of the London Homeless Coalition and is an associate professor at West University. The LHC is advocating for an increase of $100 in housing assistance so that people don't have to choose between food or shelter, or in Bruce's case, shelter and health care.
And so they're struggling day to day, struggling with very basic things that you'd think in Canada you'd be able to have access to food and shelter. So that's why the $100 matters to us, because it matters to real people who are in need.
There are a couple different levels to social housing. The first is emergency housing, where homeless individuals can stay for a night and eventually get set up with a social worker. And once they start working their way up, they could actually end up in private housing, such as the building you see behind me. And this is actually the building where Bruce lives. Bruce says that even though he's lived in this small apartment for almost a year, he's still not used to it and struggles. But he's trying to take things one step at a time, and this time he's not alone.
Leanna was there trying to help me when I didn't think anybody was around to help.
While Bruce will always be grateful for the help he's received, he says he never wants to take advantage of the system and accept handouts. For Western News, I'm Cortney Cook.